Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to the video, and today I want to talk about some of my favorite action-adventure games. The first game I want to talk about is Ghost of Tsushima, where you follow the last samurai, Jin Sakai. As his home Tsushima is being invaded by Mongol forces, Jin must learn a new and dirty fighting style that goes against everything he believes in to save the island and the people of Tsushima. I really honestly enjoyed this game. The combat is solid. I remember learning the different stances, and it was difficult at first, but once you got the hang of it, the stances were actually really useful, especially the when you have to use it against like the bigger guys. The bigger guys were very challenging at first, but once you unlock that stance, it becomes so much easier to deal with your foes, and I had a really good time learning and unlocking all the different stances. Also, I like how the game used its pairing system. The pairing system felt solid, and it used one of your ability bars, and you had up to 3 ability slots at first, and if you had all 3, you could use an ultimate ability called Mythic Techniques. I thought this was awesome, the way you could use this, and it would just be super overpowered. You felt like an absolute complete badass. I played my playthrough probably 90% stealth. Half the time I was climbing rooftops using a bow, taking out enemies. I remember stabbing people through doorways and climbing under buildings and using the little hatch to get inside. There was just a ton of different ways that you could be stealthy in this game. You could hide in the tall grass, and it just felt great. Everything here just feels really good, and the utilities that you had too, like the smoke bomb and the throwing knives, everything in this game was just solid, especially the story when you found yourself struggling whether you wanted to fight as a samurai or as the ghost, and you don't want to disappoint your uncle because he strongly believes that the samurai way is the honorable way and it's the only way. But Jin must pick and choose whether he wants to fight as the samurai or the ghost. Obviously, the ghost is a newer technique, but it's not the way of the samurai. It's a more dirty technique. It's a technique where you hide in the shadows and you use fear as your weapon. I also really like the way the game uses shrines around the map and how you're able to access the shrines by following a fox. I thought this was really cool. It was just a really awesome time exploring Tsushima, just climbing giant mountains and using the grapple hook that you unlocked. Everything here was awesome, especially the skill tree system. I remember the skill tree system and unlocking all the different skills that you could unlock, and boss fights were actually challenging in this game too. You really felt like you were a super badass samurai Jin Sakai or a sneaky stealthy assassin. The next game I want to talk about is Marvel's Spider-Man, where you take on the role as Peter Parker, or as he's better known as Spider-Man. In this adaptation, you play as a 23-year-old college graduate and a research assistant who gained superhuman abilities bitten by a radioactive spider. Peter is in his 8th year of crime fighting under a superheroic alter ego as Spider-Man, who has highly become experienced at this point but struggles to balance a superhero life and his personal life. With all this going on, there's a sinister threat looming over New York City where Peter must muster up the strength to fight, but he doesn't fight alone as he is joined by a great supporting cast of Mary Jane Watson, Miles Morales, Aunt May, and Yuri Wannabe. Honestly, I think Insomniac does a really good job at capturing Peter Parker as Spider-Man in this game, and it's probably one of my favorite versions of the character. I also think they do an even better job at showing off New York City, and I think they have a wonderful depiction of Manhattan. The gameplay is also solid. I honestly thought controlling Spider-Man was a really good time. It feels really good. Swinging around New York City has never felt better. It's just so fluid and it's so smooth. It feels really good. On top of that, combat feels sturdy. You feel capable and acrobatic as Spider-Man. Defeating foes with melee combat is a really good time as well. If you really thought Batman's combat was solid, I honestly think Spider-Man's combat just builds upon it, making it better. I love the way it uses the Spidey sense to dodge oncoming attacks, and how taking down foes with your fist and using multiple combos feels responsive. Also, combining that with your web shooters and using it to slam foes or even launch yourself into enemies was also just really awesome. You also had a wide variety of gadgets, and using these gadgets were also a really cool time. I also like the boss fights in this game, and they all feel really unique and solid, and even the enemy types feel refreshing. with the combat comes looking great while doing it, and you also had access to a wide variety of different suits to unlock. I really like this, and I tried to unlock almost every single suit during my playthrough, honestly. And speaking of the collectibles, there was also backpacks around the city that you could collect, and I found myself swinging everywhere looking for these backpacks. Like, I mean everywhere. I almost tried to 100% this game, and the last time I tried doing that was when I played Ratchet and Clank A Crack in Time, and I usually never try to go for every single collectible, but when I'm really enjoying a game, I definitely go 100%. I really can't wait to see the sequel for this game, and it's launching in October. The last game I want to talk about is one of my favorite games, and it's Breath of the Wild. And I had such a great adventure with this game where we're playing as Link again. He wakes up, and you find yourself using a Sheikah Slate. And you don't know what the Sheikah Slate is at first, but once you exit that mysterious cave at the start and you see this beautiful new Hyrule, you learn that Hyrule is being corrupted by Ganon again, and it's your job to kill Ganon and take him out. And once I left that cave for the first time, by the way, I haven't played a Zelda game in about 11 years, so I found myself stunned at how much a Zelda game changed when I found out I could climb things, and I could chop down wood, and I could glide, and I could just do all these different things, cook different recipes. There was just so much to this game. Discovering every single new thing, every single detail was awesome. You could even stumble upon these really awesome enemies throughout the map. There was one on this mountain, I can't remember the name of him, but he was really challenging at first, and he was just sitting on top of that stupid mountain the whole time, and he always used to absolutely own me, and I got strong enough to finally take him down. It was so satisfying. Also, I really like the way the game plays with the Sheikah Slate's abilities called runes. I really like the way you could solve puzzles with the runes. Runes were honestly probably one of the best additions that they added to Zelda. I still wish that there were regular items in the game like the grapple hook and all those kind of items, but the Sheikah Slate runes were honestly a really cool addition as well. I also found myself scattering all over the place to find the different shrines so I could take on different puzzles or fight different foes and try to just get better gear to make myself stronger. And once I fought Ganon, holy crap, man, Ganon was such a freaking hard boss fight for me. I don't know if it's just because I didn't spend enough time gathering gear. I really also enjoyed the Divine Beast and how you got to them. I remember visiting Death Mountain for the first time, and seeing a freaking Divine Beast on top of that volcano was such a nostalgic trip, and I thought it was the most awesome thing in the whole entire world. And yeah, I really enjoyed my time with Zelda, and I still haven't played the new one because where I'm from it's $100. I just think that's way too expensive for a video game in my opinion, and I don't want to really spend that much money. So yeah, I just can't wait to finally play the next one. I've been really looking forward to Tears, and I've been wanting to play it, but I'm not spending that much money. But anyways, guys, that's it for me today. Those are the games that I wanted to talk about, and the games that I really enjoyed playing throughout the years, and those are just some of my favorite action adventure games that I've played thus far. If you want to hear more about different action adventure games that I've played, let me know down in the comments below. If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe for more gaming commentaries like this one. Also, what are some of your favorite action adventure games? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.